Anyway, and all this segues into basically Mafia in space. So Jimmy Two-Tone, or Vandalin, or Vandalier, whatever, I don't know, I think it was a V, I don't know, Vinny or something like that, basically gets in a time ship, goes back in time to, or something like that, goes back in time to basically one of my exoskeleton civilizations, and is trying to get the secret to regeneration arms and some other stuff from them or something like that. Like the furthest back that they can possibly get is basically Mafia in space with a spaceship to go and try and get with the others, get with the exoskeletons, and to try and make a deal with exoskeletons on getting this technology or whatever, because they might maybe heard that I had regeneration for my exoskeletons, as I had medical for exoskeletons and stuff like that, limb replacement. So they're going to try and get they were trying to get the limb replacement or some technology or something like that from one of my exoskeleton worlds back in time or back somewhere, and then they were going to take over or something like that. Try to take over an exoskeleton civilization or something. I don't know. Trying to get advanced technology from another race or something like that. And they were just talking to my exoskeleton, one of the exoskeleton plants and civilization or something. I don't really know. So, like I said, they spent a great deal of time trying to cover up, trying to do something, trying to, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know. I can't explain the human condition or the human mind. Like, meanwhile, I'm pretty sure me and a bunch of other people were just staring at whatever, watching them fly around in space. Like, it might as well have been a simulation. It was completely pointless. Then I guess they were planning on torturing the exoskeletons, for which they didn't speak the language. We don't speak the lingo. They didn't speak the language. And I think the exoskeletons referred them to me as a mediator or something like that. I don't really know. I don't know. And the Mafia were trying to kidnap me back in time or something like that, so they can hand me over to the big cheese or something like that. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know. It's all so ridiculous and crazy that it's like, just a bunch of people making a mess of time and space or something, or making, I don't know, doing something. I'm not exactly sure what. Like I said, I'm 100 trillion years old, and of a colony ship. Like I said, I'm pretty sure in some odd year of Earth, basically, I launched the LSF colony ship to space. Possibly it was LSF-A at that point in time, to space, with basically aircraft trying to shoot me down to keep me from getting off the planet or something. But we launched too sooner, and they took over mission control or something. I don't know. Or whatever. I don't really know or care. But it'd be a good backdrop, though. Like, I was like, and they were saying their aircraft, and I think there was a refueling ship that also launched at the same time, because once I got into space, I was going to refuel in space before we took off, So I think the Spear, the Needle, launched simultaneously or something, and then it would push the fuel up there, and then we would transfer the fuel in space, and then we'd be off, or something like that. So I was going to top off the tanks in orbit, and then cruise on out of here. So, and I believe I did that at some point in time while the war raged on Earth, or something like that. So, anyway. Oh well. All my people were like, don't worry, you're going to launch just fine. We'll get you refueled and everything, and then you'll be on your way. So I did, and then at some point in time, they were going to do a coup or something on the ship or something like that, but they didn't understand that it was going to take 34 years or 60 years to get to where we were going. And they were like, turn the ship around, And all my people were like, we know what we signed up for, so anyway, so we're still going. So they locked them up for the entire voyage or something like that, or contained them to a small section of the ship. And they were always trying to, take over the ship again or something like that. There were like 5 of them or something like that were supposed to, like, whatever, I don't know. I don't really know. But the rest of the crew didn't feel the same way and just wanted to go to space or something like that, or go to another planet. Of course, on the other planet, they were trying to get to the 1.5s, and like I said, we have a, what's it called, this, there's a space station built for us, there's spaceships built for us, everything's there, we just gotta get down to the planet. And they got down to the planet and they realized it was built for a 2-foot tall person. Because they had told the 1.5s to build it for a standardized human, or standardized life form, actually. They thought that the 1.5s were humans just like them. So they got there and realized that, got over the ridge, it's got to be over that next ridge. Got to the ridge and looked in and saw this little dome. And then they saw the little landing ships and the ships off in the distance. And they're giant ships already built. We got pictures of it. Everything's there. The trees inside the dome. Everything's already built. We just got to take over there. The suits are inside the racks. We just got to get to those suits. And then once we get to those combat suits, then we'll have the weapons. We'll take the rest of them. And we'll take the place by storm. They had this whole plan. Anyway, so they had the 1.5s build everything for me, or build everything. And they didn't say... anyway. So they got there, they found the small dome, they found the small ships off, a whole fleet of very dangerous, very real fighter craft, space fighter craft that the 1.5s had built for them, like 40 of them or something, and a big ship, whatever. Heavily armed, heavily everything. Anyway, so they were going to bust their way through the airlock and get in there and get those combat suits on. Once they had those combat suits on, they would grab the weapons. And they had pictures of the 1.5s in the suits shooting the combat weapons. So they knew this. We know the guns work. We know they're there on the planet. We just got to get to them. So like I said, yeah. So all the suits were built. Everything was built by the 1.5s. And it was all there. And then later on, they were saying, the 1.5s were going to attack you. They were going to do a coup. And they were building the secret thing and we exposed it. 1.5's communicated to me and said, no, we built it for blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they shot some people and ran off towards the dome and everything, and then died of whatever, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know, I don't care. I was still in orbit, whatever. So yeah, if you're going to ask someone else to build you stuff, or another life form type to build you stuff, especially one that actually is a space-going life form type, or an exoskeleton, yeah, they're usually small. They're usually, like, to go in space is a waste of time to carry around all this extra water with you. So, like I said, why would they carry around that much water with them? Like, that's weight. If you're going to be efficient in space, you're going to be small and lean and whatever. If you're an exoskeleton, size does not denote intelligence nor effectiveness, and usually smaller things are more effective. So most of my life forms were small, 1.5, 3 foot tall, 4 foot tall, that kind of thing. Why carry around the extra water? Earth, it's a little bit different, and besides, I wanted to be about 6 foot tall for Earth or something like that. And it might have had some more to do with Abraham Lincoln, which was doing hat height rulership. He was the tallest man in the country, and it turned out he wasn't really the tallest man in the country at all. And then he added the hat. So then he was the tallest man in the country. And then we get into some interesting things where the hats are like this. And he's trying to be the tallest person, because in Lincoln's or whatever law, it's the total height that counts. At first it was the height of the hair that counted. And then it was the height of the total, and the hat includes whatever. So Lincoln had this long thing, and the Chinese came out, or the Chinese came out with this really like spire. And the Chinese said, "Oh yeah," and they came out with a spire hat. which was even taller. And that denoted the world ruler. Chinese, I had chosen the Chinese to succeed me, basically. As they're the most honest, the most loyal, the most everything, and very good, caring people. They're very effective. So anyway, to basically slap down Abraham Lincoln, who was my supposed adopted father, the Chinese came out with these really ridiculously tall spire hats, and that was the rulership. Because by Lincoln's standards of hat height includes your height denotes your standing or rulership. So that's why everything was all weird. Lincoln was saying, the man that is the tallest shall rule. So the Chinese came out with this really tall, beautiful, gorgeous, tall hat or something like that. That was even taller than Abraham Lincoln and his hat. So anyway, hat height rulership is no way to rule a country or govern a country, nor a society, or civilization. Usually it's an inventing and blah, blah, blah. So the human race or the human life form types on Earth or something did that for a while. Hat height rulership, and then blah, 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 blah. You could stop at any point in time, Seriously. You could just, I don't know. Yeah. And actually, Nixon or JFK actually got a lot farther by handing out soda out of the back of my steam train. They would drive across the steam train, and they had cases of soda in the back of the steam train going, vote Republican, vote Republican, vote Republican, vote Republican. Had those stupid pressed straw hats that were like 5 cents a piece or something, and they were selling them for like $5. I had some straw hats that were steam pressed straw hats and stuff, and just kind of cool to look at, and just really cheap. And they're selling them for $3 and $4, and they're like 2-cent hats or something like that, or really cheap, easy to make hats. You just stick them in the steam press and then sew the edges. And that's how the Republicans were making money. And they had all these people were wearing these stupid looking straw white hats. Like you see the pictures of them, they're all wearing Republican or something, democracy. Stupid little straw hats. And they're like 3-cent hats, and they're selling them for $5 and $10. So everyone's wearing these stupid hats or selling, and the people think they're actually supporting some group, and they're not. They think that by buying the hats, the money's going to charity or something. So everyone's wearing these stupid-looking, cheap-ass hats that are like 2 cents a piece. Personally, I like the leather hat better. Anyway, yeah, humanity was an epic race, and was rather high and rather amazing and awesome. And I had the greatest love and appreciation for them, and really thought that they could be something. And Rick Bush is like, I am the one who did that for you, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it was Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, or JFK, or some idiot, or someone. Like, oh, God. And the money went to something else, I don't know. It didn't go to me at all. I didn't need money. Like I said, I didn't need money with production. Like, I was just telling my people what I wanted them to do, and they would just do it for me. So they're just taking the money and and letting my people or me just basically run the country, run the planet. So all my stuff was going through, of course, I was the only one who could rule the planet or rule whatever. The only one who really cared about what was going on the planet, so. Anyway, meanwhile, all these people are posting fake videos, fake movies, saying this, saying that. And it's all lies. It's all just a scam. So. And mostly it's just the German scientists and German everything, everybody else. I'm like, I don't even care. It's like, whatever. You know, you took part in epic stupidity. Epic stupidity. And like I said, I'm not referring to the Germans. I'm not referring to the Russians or the or the Chinese, Asians, or even the Mexicans. Even the blacks, they did something. They were misguided, and it was a mistake. And they were just serving to burn it down, burn it down. Warsaw, like Papa, who got kicked out of Warsaw at some point in time for slapping around girls by the Irish. And he got my name from the Irish, saying he tortured the shit out of 3 Irishmen or something like that. And the Irish went and took care of them. They're prejudiced! No, you tortured the shit out of their brothers. And were a horrible, horrible person. Later on, you were selling fertilizer, or shipping fertilizer as selling shit-laden opium shit, basically, that was baked in the desert and then baked in an oven, and then having people mix it into their gin. Like, that's pretty epic right there. Papa's fertilizer. Which wasn't good for fertilizer or opium. And that was their way of getting high for free. Sometimes they'd add a little bit of corn. So like I say, the black people will never live that down. You're not going to live down your disgrace. I'm sorry. You're never, ever going to live that down. There is no way at this point. And black people being like, they wanted to be black because they would blend into the dark and they could take over. You are never going to live down what you've done. Blaming the English, no, the Germans first, then the English, then the what's it called, then the Americans. Like, you need to go ahead and just blame, say the Mexicans are holding you down, black people. Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it. The Mexicans are holding us down. Come on, black people, let's go. You've already blamed the Germans. You've already blamed the English. You've already blamed the French. I think you probably blamed the Dutch too until you killed them. You've already blamed the Americans. So let's hear it. The Mexicans are holding us down, man. They're oppressing us. Come on. Come on, black people. You can do it. It's only 2 more groups. 2 more groups that they're oppressing you. And then you can say that you blame them all. Oh, wait. The Canadians. That's right. The Canadians are oppressing you, black people. The Canadians are holding you down. Those damn Canadians. Oh yeah, and the Russians. The Russians. I told you, don't follow false leaders, false gods. If you knew how many black people that they've sacrificed, flinging each time, oh well, once that group's gone, we'll cover it up, so no one will ever know that the black people were killing the Germans. So no one will ever know that the black people were killing the French or the Dutch or the English or the Americans. People are like, why are the cops and the blacks getting into open warfare out on the streets of Detroit, or whatever? Well, the blacks and the blacks. See, like I say, the blacks are one of those few races that actually took on everyone practically. Germans, French, what's it called? And they would just shoot the guys and rape the girls. chain them down or something. I don't know. You have to ask the black people. Whole time planning to kill off all the white people. The white people are doing all the work. Black people over there. Want some watches? Want some drugs? Want some opium? Better keep taking it or else you get sick and die. That's what the black people have been saying this whole time. Telling the girls, you're about to get some color in you. Finally, someone got pissed off, probably a black person, and gave them pubic hair for hair or something like that. Like, someone did something mean to them. They gave them pubic hair on top of their head or something like that because they're pissed at them. The same kind of hair, or their bad genetics where they used the pubic hair for the hair or something like that. And that's why their hair's all curly and snargled. Like some geneticist or something, I don't know. Or maybe they just want to be different, I don't know. Then I said, yeah, pubic hair is top and bottom, basically. So yeah. And then I made your hair white. I didn't do the pubic hairs top and bottom. I did the hair white and receding hairline maybe. Or it was done for me. So yeah. You pissed off a lot of people. You pissed off the Dutch, you pissed off the French, you pissed off the Germans, you pissed off the Americans. I guess maybe the whites, the blacks and the Mexicans maybe got a deal going now. I don't know. Like, what convoluted plan are you working on this time? Other people are like, when's it gonna end? When's the world gonna end? When's everything gonna end? It's like, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. There is no end to time and space. When are you going to wake up and stop being whatever? Well, I think that happened a while ago. I'm not sure. I'm just explaining your history to you. Or at least the parts that I know and parts I had to deal with. And mostly my involvement in everything. There's a whole bunch of shit that wasn't documented or wasn't on record. Trying to get away with stuff, I guess. I don't know. The Irish would say the same thing. Trying to get away with stuff. I don't know. Like the Irish were on board, were cool. The Russian women were really cool. Like, I love the Russian women. Like the great women of the Soviet Union. I had them immortalized and had statues built in their honor. You know, they did a lot of things. The great women of Russia. Some really good women in Russia. And like the Chinese, they were really great as well. The French were pretty good. I don't know about the Dutch. A bunch of black people going, double Dutch, whatever. I think they raped the Dutch or something like that. I don't know. The Dutch, I don't know. They tried to kill off quite a few different life form types. So anyway. Those who couldn't defend themselves died. So I was trying to defend the Germans because they were kind of pacifistic and just living in the world. Basically anyone without a gun pretty much got shot in the face. The Irishmen lived because I gave them guns and because I had Irish workers, so they had lots of steel around, and I was like, make guns. You got the steel, start making guns. It's not that hard. Tube and whatever, blah blah, blasting cap, got a gun. So the Irish started making guns to defend themselves. Like I said, that those little piece of shit guns that were known, whatever, those were Irish guns, and you should just admit it and just be like, hey, yeah, we got that, we did that, and realistically, they should have been making real guns and good guns, and they could have done that. I don't know exactly which group, and because they're supposed to be rubber bullet guns, basically. The little sheet metal guns and all that stuff, they weren't supposed to shoot bullets. They were supposed to shoot rubber pellets, but they could be converted over to bullets fairly easily. So, it's another thing I got blamed for, is because I was allowing the rubber bullet guns, which were the sheet metal ones. They would jam after about 34 shots, though, or 40 shots. They were complete junk. You can't make a gun out of sheet metal. It breaks. So anyway, not a good gun at all. I wouldn't even have made them. But anyway, I was making them as safe guns, and at 34 feet they wouldn't kill anyone, or 60 feet, or 80 feet, or 100 feet they wouldn't kill anyone. But up close, like point blank, like 30 feet or so, they were deadly, or mildly deadly. The rubber would just get implanted with some whatever. So, a bunch of people made a bunch of those guns, shipped them, and they were going to do a massive attack or something like that. Massive take back, IRA take back or something. I don't know what happened to it. Basically, kill enough people that they actually got the guns, the good guns, and then did something. Like I said, I don't really know. I love the Irish, and I respected them, and they were honest and trustworthy. So I'm not exactly sure what the Irish and the English were doing or whatever. Maybe fixing things. I don't know. Like I said, you're all given a choice. You're all given an option. What you do with those options and choices and everything else is up to you. What you've done, like, man. Like I say, I'm just your creator. I'm not your creator exactly. I created you, yes, but I created everybody else first, or all the other life forms first. You were just the ones that are the problems. And the human race is the race that killed me. And I believe mostly the males, not the females. Anyway, like I say, I don't really care. A bunch of black people, blah, 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 thinking that they win or they won. Or that they will kill the white people off someday, or blah, blah, take over, blah, blah, blah. But they don't. In general and statistically, the black people just kind of invade a territory and then basically everything goes to hell because they don't work, they don't do anything. And then they starve to death. A plague on this world! That's all they were. They destroy the Dutch village. They destroy the what's called village. They just go in, they overpopulate, they rape, they kill, and then they starve. So, anyway, that's basically their history. And then they run into the jungle to try and hide in the dark, as if they're invisible. Like I say, the French village was seeing birds with little parasites dangling as they flew along. And they knew that the parasites had to be up in there, and they were wondering how the parasites were getting. It was black people. There was a black colony there. The black people thought they were so silent, so hidden, or whatever. The English were watching them the whole time. Knew exactly where they were. Anyway, the black people did a couple hundred years of suffering. It was like, we've done our time. It's like, ugh, whatever. And it was the English that got rid of all the parasites out of them. Or the Germans. Like I say, it was just a crash of all civilization on this earth, practically. The black people were like, they're going to nuke us any minute now. We can't be around civilization. We got to be hiding in the jungle. They're going to nuke the civilizations. They're going to nuke the civilizations. We're going to nuke the civilizations. We can't be in the cities. So, basically, the black people were hiding in the jungles, living like shit, and the rest of the world was, what's it called? A bunch of black people were trying to drive cars into the jungle. They thought any minute now the white people would be nuked by their great whatever. It was all lies. It was lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies. Papa's lies, the Republicans' lies, the rest of us lies, everyone's lies. Just all intermixed. Like a bunch of people that just fell down, and then a bunch of people tried to run over them, just creating this big pile. They affected Terran quite a bit, and Terran was going through some real hardship, or something like that. But they just got as far as Terran and maybe one of the other planets. Eventually they were trying to destroy the whole planet of Terran and some other planet, but I warned them or something like that. And they just got out of the way and they destroyed the ship. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, like I said, exoskeletons had nanotechnology first, or had nanotechnology. 1.5 had nanotechnology. Both had space time travel. Even the original human race that I was raising up had time travel and probably nanotechnology. Were very advanced, had artificial intelligence, computers, everything. Everything was advanced. Everything was awesome, amazing with me. So it wasn't until later, or whatever, until I died or something or whatever. It took them millions of years, thousands of years, 500 billion years, something. So anyway, yeah, I'm just like whatever.